Love doesn't always begin with grand gestures, dramatic speeches, or candlelit confessions. Sometimes it grows quietly, through the smallest, most ordinary moments that often go unnoticed. When a man starts to like you, truly and sincerely, it often shows up in the soft edges of everyday life. It's not always about what he says directly, but about how he shows up in the little things, the unspoken gestures, and the spaces between the words. Most people think they'll know when someone likes them because it will be obvious. Roses, declarations, constant compliments. But real feelings, especially in the beginning, often express themselves in subtler ways. A man who genuinely likes you may not say it out loud, especially if he's shy, cautious, or still figuring out how he feels. But his actions will quietly speak the truth. The way he looks at you, the time he gives you, and the small things he remembers about you. These are the moments that matter most. In fact, it's often the unnoticed behaviors that are the clearest signs of affection. He might not always text long paragraphs or talk about his feelings openly, but he'll hold the door without thinking, laugh at your jokes no matter how bad they are, and remember the little things you mention in passing. These everyday interactions are where you'll find the truth. Because when someone likes you, they start to make space for you, not just in their schedule, but in their heart. This video explores 15 everyday moments that quietly reveal a man's growing affection for you. These aren't loud or flashy signs. They're gentle, sincere, and real. They show up in how he listens, how he reacts to your mood, how he positions himself in your life without forcing it. You'll begin to notice that his care for you is steady and thoughtful, not just convenient or temporary. If you've been wondering whether he likes you, but can't quite tell, these signs will help you recognize what's already unfolding. Maybe he's not the type to confess his feelings right away, but his behavior will start to tell the story for him. The beauty of real affection is that it doesn't need to scream. It shows up consistently, even when no one's watching. So pay close attention, not just to what he says, but to what he does when he thinks no one's paying attention. These small, everyday moments might seem ordinary on the surface, but together, they create a powerful message. He cares, and he might be falling for you in ways he hasn't even admitted to himself yet. Let's take a closer look at the subtle signs that prove he truly likes you. 15 everyday moments that carry far more meaning than they seem. 1. He holds the door open without thinking. When a man holds the door open for you without thinking, it may seem like a simple act of politeness, but it often reveals something deeper when done consistently and naturally. It's not about grand gestures or trying to impress. It's about instinct. He sees you approaching, and his immediate reaction is to make your path easier. There's no hesitation, no need to think twice. He just does it, like it's second nature to care for you in small ways. This kind of behavior signals comfort and attentiveness. It means you're on his mind in subtle, everyday moments. He's aware of your presence, aware of your needs, even when they aren't spoken. It shows he's not just looking at you, but thinking about how to support you, even in quiet, ordinary ways. The action might seem small, but the intention behind it is full of care. A man who does this regularly isn't performing kindness, he's living it. He doesn't need an audience or appreciation. He just wants you to feel considered and respected. These micro moments of care speak volumes. They show that his feelings are growing in ways he might not even fully understand himself. You become someone he automatically looks out for, someone whose comfort matters in his daily rhythm. Real affection often hides in these unnoticed gestures. When someone acts with care without needing a reason, it means their heart is already involved. Holding the door open isn't just about being polite. It's a small reflection of how he sees you, someone worth making space for. someone worth slowing down for. In a world that's always rushing, that small pause can mean everything. 2. He laughs at your jokes, even the bad ones. When a man laughs at your jokes, even the ones that aren't particularly funny, it's more than just being polite. It's a glimpse into how much he enjoys being around you. Laughter is often spontaneous and hard to fake genuinely. So when he finds humor in your words, especially when you know the joke wasn't your best, it's because he's tuned in to more than just what you're saying. He's reacting to the person behind the joke, you. This kind of laughter is rooted in affection. He's not analyzing the quality of the punchline. He's just happy to hear you speak, to see you smiling, and to be part of that moment with you. It shows he's not just listening, he's emotionally engaged. He wants to encourage your lightness, support your spirit, and share in your joy. Even a soft chuckle or playful grin in response to a silly comment is his way of saying, I enjoy your energy. It also shows comfort. When someone's really into you, they don't need perfection to feel amused. They're already drawn in. Your voice, your expressions, your quirks, they all become things he looks forward to. So when you throw out a joke that falls flat, and he still laughs, it's because he's not judging you, he's appreciating you. His laughter becomes a mirror of how warmly he sees you. These moments may seem small or insignificant, but they're actually signs of emotional closeness. He's not laughing because the joke deserves it. He's laughing because you do. And that quiet support, that constant warmth, even in light-hearted banter, is often how true feelings first begin to show. 3. He remembers small details you casually mention. When a man remembers the small details you casually mention, it's one of the clearest signs that he's emotionally invested. These aren't big, dramatic facts you repeated over and over. They're the little things you said in passing, maybe without even realizing they mattered. It could be your favorite snack, the name of your childhood pet, or something you're nervous about next week. But somehow, he holds on to it. That's not just memory. It's care. When someone genuinely likes you, they listen with intention. They aren't just hearing words, they're collecting pieces of you. Remembering these tiny details means he values what you say, no matter how small. It shows he's present when you speak, focused on you, and making a quiet effort to know you better. He doesn't need reminders or notes. It just stays with him because you matter. This kind of attention is rare. In a world where people often multitask through conversations, someone who remembers the small things stands out. It tells you that you've moved past surface-level interest and into something more meaningful. He's not just trying to impress you, he's trying to understand you. These details often come back in the sweetest ways. Maybe he brings up something you forgot you even shared, or uses that knowledge to make you feel seen when you need it most. And in those moments, you realize he's not only listening, he's holding on to parts of you that even you didn't think were important. That's how love starts. Not in loud declarations, but in the quiet remembrance of the little things. 4. He checks in on you during the day. When a man checks in on you during the day, it's more than just casual texting. It's a sign that you're on his mind, even when life is busy. Whether it's a simple, "How's your day going?" or a thoughtful message sent just to see if you're okay, these small moments show consistent care. He's not reaching out for entertainment or attention. He genuinely wants to stay connected, even in the middle of everything else he's doing. This kind of effort isn't always loud or romantic, but it's deeply meaningful. It reflects emotional presence. He wants to know how you're feeling, how your meeting went, if you had lunch, or whether something that was bothering you earlier has passed. These little check-ins say, I see you, and you matter to me. It's his quiet way of being part of your day, even if he can't be physically close. It also shows emotional responsibility. He's not just interested in you when you're together. He carries that interest with him. He remembers what you talked about and circles back to show that he's listening, not just reacting in the moment. When someone takes the time to do this, especially without prompting, it reveals how much space you occupy in their thoughts. A man who checks in during the day doesn't need an excuse. You don't have to be upset, sick, or dealing with something big. He reaches out because you're important to him in a quiet, steady way. And when someone makes space for you in their everyday routine, it's because their feelings are growing in the background, slowly, sincerely, and with intention. 5. He offers to help you without being asked. When a man offers to help you without being asked, it's a powerful indicator of genuine affection and emotional investment. It means he's paying attention to your needs, even before you voice them. Whether it's carrying something heavy, fixing a small issue, or stepping in when you're overwhelmed, his instinct is to support you, not because he's trying to impress you, but because he wants to make your life a little easier. This kind of effort comes from a place of quiet care. He doesn't wait for you to struggle or ask for assistance. He notices the moment, steps forward, and offers his presence in a helpful way. These actions are never loud or demanding. They're thoughtful, timely, and often done with a soft confidence that shows he's genuinely concerned about your comfort and well-being. Helping without being asked also reflects his desire to be a part of your world. He wants to show up for you, not just emotionally, but practically. It's a way of saying, "I'm here," without needing to say it. These small gestures, when done consistently, start to build trust and intimacy. They prove that he's not just a bystander in your life. He wants to be an active, supportive presence. Over time, these actions form a pattern that speaks louder than words. They show you that you matter to him, not only during romantic moments, but in the quiet, ordinary ones too. And when someone naturally steps in to lighten your load without ever needing a reason, it's because you've already started to take up space in his heart. 6. He finds reasons to text or call you. When a man finds reasons to text or call you, even when there's nothing urgent to say, it's a clear sign he's thinking about you and wants to stay close. These little messages or unexpected calls aren't just about checking in. They're about connection. He's not reaching out because he has to. He's doing it because he wants to feel near you, even through a screen. You've become a part of his thoughts in quiet, consistent ways. The reasons might be small: sharing a funny meme, asking a random question, or commenting on something you mentioned earlier. But the intention behind it is big. He's creating moments between the moments. In a busy day, when he chooses to pause and reach out, it means you've become someone his mind naturally returns to. He could keep things simple and wait for you to text, but instead, he starts the conversation, again and again. This behavior reflects emotional curiosity. He's not just checking off a box or being polite. He's drawn to your presence, your voice, your energy. He wants to know what you're up to, how you're feeling, and what's going on in your world. These interactions don't always have a clear purpose on the surface, but they mean everything underneath. Over time, these small calls and texts build an invisible thread between you. They bring consistency, comfort, and closeness. And when someone keeps finding ways to bring you into their day, it's because you're not just someone he likes talking to. You're someone he's starting to miss when you're not there. That's when real feelings begin to take root, quietly and deeply. 7. He notices when you're feeling off. When a man notices that you're feeling off, even when you haven't said a word, it reveals a deep level of emotional awareness and care. He pays close enough attention to sense the shift in your tone, your energy, or even the way you respond to a simple question. You may try to act like everything's fine, but he sees past the surface. It's not about prying or forcing you to talk. It's about being present enough to know that something's not right. This kind of attentiveness doesn't come from casual interest. It comes from emotional investment. He's watching not to control, but to understand. When he cares about you, your silence, your mood, or your change in expression matters to him. It affects him because your well-being is starting to feel personal. Without making it dramatic, he gently checks in, offering support, space, or just a soft, "Are you okay?" at the right moment. He might not always know what's wrong, but he knows something is. And that in itself is powerful. It means he's attuned to you. Not just your words, but your unspoken emotions. It shows he's not only listening when you talk, but also feeling when you don't. This quiet recognition is one of the strongest signs of growing connection. When someone notices your emotional changes and responds with patience, kindness, or presence, it tells you everything about where his heart is. He's not just observing you, he's emotionally linked to you. And when someone begins to care about how you feel even before you say anything, it means they're already falling, softly, steadily, and truly. 8. He listens closely when you speak. When a man listens closely when you speak, it's more than good manners. It's a sign of deep emotional presence. In a world full of distractions, truly listening is rare. But when he focuses on your words, makes eye contact, reacts thoughtfully, and remembers what you say later, it shows you have his full attention. He's not waiting for his turn to talk or half scrolling through his phone. He's locked in, because what you say genuinely matters to him. This kind of listening isn't about being polite. It's about connection. He's trying to understand your thoughts, your feelings, and the meaning behind your words. He cares about how you see the world, and he listens to learn, not just to respond. He hears not just the facts, but the feelings, your excitement, your worries, your humor, your pain, and he holds those pieces of you with quiet respect. You'll notice this in the way he reacts, how he asks thoughtful follow-up questions, or brings up things you said days later. It shows that he's not just present physically, he's present emotionally and mentally, and that's something that can't be faked. When someone listens to you like that, it means you've carved out a space in their heart and mind. Real interest is shown in quiet, consistent attention. And when a man listens to you fully, with warmth and focus, it's his way of saying, "You matter to me." No grand gesture needed. Just steady, honest presence. And that's where love begins. 9. He waits for you or walks you to your car. When a man waits for you or walks you to your car, it's a subtle yet meaningful gesture that reveals how much he cares. It's not something he's doing for show or out of obligation. It's his way of making sure you're safe, respected, and not alone in moments that might seem routine to others. This simple act, done consistently, speaks volumes about how he sees you and what your presence means to him. He doesn't rush ahead or disappear the moment something ends. Instead, he pauses, stays behind, and chooses to stay connected to you for just a little longer. Whether it's after a long day, a group hangout, or a casual meeting, he makes the effort to stay with you until the very end. That quiet, consistent presence reflects a protective instinct that comes naturally when someone is emotionally attached. Walking you to your car or waiting for you to get inside safely may seem small, but it carries a lot of weight. It shows he's thinking beyond himself. He's aware of your surroundings, your safety, and your comfort. And that kind of awareness doesn't come from casual interest. It comes from feeling something deeper. These gestures are his way of being there for you in the everyday, unspoken moments. They may not be romantic in the traditional sense, but they are full of care, intention, and quiet affection. And when someone starts showing up for you like that, without being asked, without needing recognition, it's because you're already becoming a priority in his heart. 10. He includes you in group plans. When a man includes you in group plans, it's a strong sign that he wants you to be a bigger part of his world. It's not just about spending time together. It's about merging his social life with yours, letting you into the spaces where his friends or family exist. That inclusion shows he's proud to have you around, and that he feels comfortable enough to share more than just one-on-one moments. It's a quiet way of saying, you belong here too. He doesn't keep you separate from the rest of his life. Instead, he actively looks for ways to involve you, whether it's inviting you to a casual get-together, a dinner with friends, or a day trip with the group. These moments reflect his desire to create shared experiences, not just private ones. He enjoys being around you, and he wants the people close to him to see why. Including you in group plans also signals that he values your presence, not just in romantic or personal settings, but in his everyday rhythm. It shows he's not hiding you, and he's not keeping his life compartmentalized. He wants you to be known by the people who know him, and that reflects both trust and affection. This kind of gesture often means he's thinking long-term. When someone is serious, they start imagining you in future moments, celebrations, weekends, casual hangouts. And when he begins naturally weaving you into those plans, it's a sign that his feelings are real and growing. You're no longer just a date or a conversation. You're becoming a part of his life story, little by little. 11. He compliments things others don't notice. When a man compliments things others don't notice, it shows that he's paying attention in a way that goes beyond the surface. While most people might focus on obvious traits like your outfit or hairstyle, he picks up on the subtle details, the tone of your voice when you're excited, the way your eyes light up when you talk about something you love, or the quiet strength in how you handle difficult moments. These kinds of compliments come from observation, not routine. It means he sees you clearly, not just how you look, but who you are. He notices the little things you might not even be aware of yourself. Maybe it's the way you laugh at your own jokes, the way you care for others, or how you always remember the small stuff about people. When he points those things out, it's because he's genuinely drawn to what makes you you. These compliments feel different. They feel personal. They're not meant to flatter or impress. They come from a real place. They're his way of saying, I see you in ways others don't. And that kind of attention reveals emotional depth. He's not just observing. You've become important enough to him that he's looking for all the things that make you special. When a man begins to notice and appreciate your unnoticed qualities, it's not accidental. It's because he's falling for the person behind the appearance, the real you. And that's where true affection quietly begins to grow. 12. He makes time for you, even when busy. When a man makes time for you, even when he's busy, it speaks volumes about how much he values you. In a world where everyone is constantly juggling responsibilities, schedules, and stress, time becomes one of the most precious things a person can offer. So when he chooses to carve out moments for you, whether it's a short call during a packed day, a late-night message after a long shift, or rearranging plans just to see you, it's not casual, it's intentional. He's telling you without words that you're a priority, that even when life is pulling him in 100 directions, your presence matters. He's not waiting for the perfect moment, or when things slow down. He's making space for you in the middle of the chaos, because your connection is something he doesn't want to put on hold. That choice, repeated over time, shows commitment, even if the relationship is still growing. It's not about grand gestures or elaborate plans. Sometimes it's just 5 minutes to check in, a thoughtful text while commuting, or showing up even when he's tired. Those little efforts are powerful because they prove he's not just fitting you into his life when it's easy, he's choosing you when it's hard. And that's where real feelings begin to show. When someone is truly interested, They don't let busy become a barrier. They find ways, not excuses. And if he's showing up for you consistently, sincerely, even when it's inconvenient, it means his heart is already making space for you in a very real way. 13. He shares songs, memes, or things that remind him of you. When a man shares songs, memes, or little things that remind him of you, it's a quiet but meaningful way of saying, "You're on my mind." These aren't random links or forced conversations. They're personal connections he's making between you and his everyday world. Maybe he hears a lyric that makes him think of something you said, sees a meme that matches your humor, or stumbles across a quote that feels like something you'd love. Whatever it is, the moment becomes linked to you and he wants to share it. This behavior shows emotional closeness. He doesn't need a big reason to reach out. He just wants to let you know he's thinking of you in the little moments. It's his way of inviting you into his thoughts without needing a deep conversation. And over time, these small, casual shares build something deeper, a connection rooted in thoughtfulness and attention. He's paying attention to your personality, your preferences, your vibe. The things he sends reflect what he's picked up about you, what makes you laugh, what moves you, what excites you. And by sending those things your way, he's not just sharing content, he's sharing a piece of his perspective, one that now includes you. These moments might seem light or playful, but they hold emotional weight. They show that you're living in his thoughts even when you're not around. And when someone starts tying the ordinary parts of their day to memories of you, it's a sign that something real is growing quietly beneath the surface. 14. He subtly mirrors your gestures or tone. When a man subtly mirrors your gestures or tone, it's often an unconscious sign of emotional connection and growing attraction. Without realizing it, he may start copying the way you sit, the expressions you use, the rhythm of your speech, or even the small phrases you often say. This isn't something he plans. It's something his body does naturally when he feels comfortable around you and emotionally in sync. Mirroring is one of the mind's quietest ways of building rapport. It's not about imitation, it's about alignment. It means he's attuned to your presence and reacting to your energy without needing to think about it. It creates a subtle harmony between you both, like a rhythm only the two of you feel. When someone mirrors you, it's their subconscious saying, "I'm connected to you, and I want you to feel that." You might notice him leaning in when you do, smiling when you smile, or softening his voice when you speak gently. These actions aren't loud or exaggerated. They're natural, effortless reflections of your mood and movements. And they often go unnoticed until you look back and realize he's been moving with you, not just beside you. This kind of mirroring happens when someone is emotionally present. It's a nonverbal way of showing interest, trust, and understanding. And when a man begins to reflect parts of you so naturally, it means his guard is down, his heart is open, and you're beginning to matter in ways he can't easily explain. That quiet mirroring is often the first language of love. 15. He always seems happy to see you. When a man always seems happy to see you, no matter the time, place, or mood he's in, it's one of the purest signs that he truly cares. His face softens, his posture changes, and there's a genuine light in his eyes the moment you walk into the room. It's not forced, rehearsed, or done to impress. It's an instinctive reaction that shows your presence makes his world feel a little better. This kind of joy isn't loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's in the way he smiles when he sees you, the way his voice lifts when he greets you, or how his energy shifts just being near you. It's the kind of happiness that doesn't need words. It's written all over him. Whether he had a long day or is surrounded by others, his mood lifts the moment you arrive. That reaction isn't something he can fake. It comes from a place of emotional warmth and genuine affection. Being happy to see someone means you've become a source of comfort and light in their life. He may not always say how he feels, but his face will. His entire demeanor will change because seeing you brings him peace, excitement, or just a quiet sense of home. That reaction isn't something he has for everyone. It's rare, and it's real. When someone lights up just by seeing you, it means you've become more than a friend, more than someone he likes. You've become someone who affects his heart. And that kind of happiness, shown again and again, is one of the surest signs that love is beginning to grow.